This is Anastasia Volander from Art Inspirations for your weekly art inspiration. Hey guys, so today, I think I'm staring right into that light. I have this little project to be done with the new art supplies that I got from Craftamo. I'll put a link in the little card up above that you guys can go to watch the unboxing of these items as well as where to find them. And so yeah, so let's get started. So, starting out with these paints, as you could see, the blue was really watery. This isn't exactly a review, but it was my first time using the paint, so I'll just let you guys know kind of what these paints were like. I was definitely surprised at how thin they were. Not like they had water in them, but almost more like they were a watercolor. Because they definitely had a thick consistency once you painted with them, but they have a little bit more of a watercolor feel to them. So that's definitely something to remember when using these paints, or if you want to buy these paints. And another thing is too, a lot like watercolor, instead of where with gouache you can kind of put it over the top of other colors, even black, this is way more of a watercolor deal, kind of like what I just said, just because you can't cover stuff as much. And on this part of it, I was kind of honestly a little bit nervous while doing it because the reason that just changed is continually my camera kept saying it was gonna die, and so that's why you might see a few times where we jump a little, or the painting moves, and that's because my camera died quite often. And back to what I was saying before, I was nervous about this because I just recently did a painting with acrylic. And the acrylic that I like using is a very thick acrylic. And so whenever I use something that's thinner, and especially like this where I was expecting it to be a little bit thicker, I don't honestly believe there are bad art supplies, because I feel like you just kind of adapt. And that's one of the things I was even thinking about while painting this. I know some of the most incredible artists, and they can use Crayola, they can use, the dumbest mediums and create the most beautiful art. And so a lot of it also has to do with the fact of I definitely am not sure if these are the greatest paints, but they're also not the worst, because honestly, as an artist, your supplies and what you can use isn't really limited to, an expense or anything like that. It's more limited to the practice you put in, the time, the effort, everything, the years. That's kind of what matters more than how much the art supply is, because you can make something beautiful out of a dollar store item. But back to this, the paints, I'm trying to think of anything else that I feel I would want to know about this product especially. I think just the one thing that was surprising to me is I actually found that one of the best things to do, especially with the color, is to kind of layer it on thick, and it created a really cool kind of consistency, especially with that red swirl I'm doing right here. The red swirl turned out really cool because I kept adding layers of red to it, and it really built it up. I almost want to say like ceramics, where you put a very thick layer of glaze on something. That's kind of what it also felt like, which was interesting, very different from what I'm used to, but really fun to try. Also with this, I wanted to line it just because I feel a lot of times, even though you can make a really cool, painting without lines, I enjoy doing lines, and so I did do it. It is one of my artistic flaws. I need to get better at doing, paintings without lines, but hey, we all gotta keep practicing and keep getting better, as I believe. And I believe a lot of other artists believe on that one too. And so yeah, that's kind of everything about this paint that I can think of at the moment. I did really enjoy it. It lined a lot better than I thought it would. I actually was really worried that when I started lining it wouldn't. be thick enough to where you could see it, and then it started working, and I was really impressed. So definitely the black, it may not have seemed at first like it was doing super great, but to be able to line something as well as, you know, I could with this, I'm actually really impressed. And it had a consistency that I really love because it stayed pretty, I want to say moist, but that probably isn't the right word for it. But to some extent, it had just the perfect watery consistency to where it doesn't fray, if you know what I'm talking about when you paint. And so that was really, really great to work with, to be able to do that. Oh, and the other thing I forgot to say at the beginning of this, my canvas and the little frame that goes with it, I actually bought from Target, which is really awesome. If you want to find some kind of cheaper, inexpensive canvases that usually come with frames, I think I paid $4 to $5 for this one, and it has a frame that goes with it, which is just awesome. So I definitely would say, if you have a Target near you, in your country, wherever you may be, it is a fantastic place to buy canvases, and it's just in their crafts section. It's kind of like around the kids area of, like, you know, paper, things like that. So yeah, this is the Craftamo. These are my acrylic paints that I just dropped, and both sets of the small paintbrush set and the large paintbrush set, which are both paintbrush wise incredible. And so yeah, that's a finished little dragon. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing it. If you would like, be sure to like below, and as well make sure to subscribe if you want to see more videos. And here's one more video over here. Anyways, have a great day, stay inspired, and keep being awesome, guys. See you later.